Welcome, Facebook live stream viewers. So glad to have you with me here today. And with me is our sponsor, David Schmidt, whose company LifeWave, as you know, we've been talking about quite a bit in past weeks. LifeWave is the company that makes these amazing phototherapy patches, one of which you can see I'm wearing right there and right there for energy to make sure that this is a good show for all of you. And David will be talking about a lot of the magic of this technology today, which he invented. So David, please say hi to everybody.
Hey everybody, and as always, looking forward to the show today.
Great. And you stay with us because in our next segment, we will be talking to David, and we'll be talking about pain relief, sleep improvement, energy enhancement, all the amazing things that can be gained through the LifeWave phototherapy patches. So hang with us. We're just about to begin the show. Thanks for being with us. Remember, you're
tired of the rut you're stuck in, but don't know what to do? Change it up. Join life transitions therapist, speaker, and best-selling author Paula Shaw. She'll be exploring topics that make change and the challenge it presents smoother and more productive. She'll also be spotlighting change makers who are leading the charge to make the world a better place. If you're ready to live a more exciting life, at home, in the workplace, and around the world, it's time to step out of your comfort zone and change it up. Now, here's your host, Paula Shaw.
Welcome to Change It Up Radio. I'm Paula Shaw. I am an author, a speaker, and a life transitions coach. My work is all about helping people deal with change and the discomfort and the upheaval that it can bring into your life. And here on this show, we're all about doing the same thing. We want to spotlight change makers who are making the world a better place. And we also seek to bring you information to help you handle change more smoothly and to make it more productive. So if you'd like to learn more about our show or hear some of our past shows, because we've had some amazing guests on this show, please go to changeitupradio.com and you'll find all the shows that we've done archived there. In fact, there's great information that has come on past shows about LifeWave phototherapy patches, our sponsors. And you can also find information on that website about being a guest or a sponsor of this show. And whenever our guests give information, contact information, or valuable tips about something, we also put all of that on the website. So be sure and check out changeitupradio.com. And if you would like to know more about me and my work in helping people deal with life transitions and change, then you can find that information on paulashaw.com. Or if you're interested in finding out about having me be a speaker at your event, you can go to paulashawspeaks.com. So now you've got all the .coms. You know how to find us everywhere. So in recent weeks, we've been talking about tips and tools and ways to help make life smoother and more productive. And of course, we have talked about, even with Carson Caldwell, who many of you are familiar with. We've been following Carson across the United States as he's riding a bike barefoot to raise money for the starving children of Yemen. And though Carson won't be joining us on this show today, please remember that should you want to donate money to help feed the starving children in Yemen, even $1 buys a meal. And you can go to bike4yemen.org to make those contributions. So please do so, because it's the biggest humanitarian crisis on the planet right now, and we can do so much with so little. Another thing I was hoping to talk to you about today, in recent shows, you know, we've been using time in this first segment for me to share with you tips and tools and processes that I find particularly helpful as we're working through life. And we'll be talking with David Schmidt in just a little bit about how we can use phototherapy patches, because they have been incredible. And as most of you know, I use them myself. My mom and dad use them, and they're in their 90s, and have found them incredibly rejuvenating for them. So much good has come out of them. And you also know that we use them on my granddog, who was having seizures, and we put some patches on him on his collar, and he now no longer has seizures. So I always like in this first segment to do what I can to pass on tips and tools to help make your lives smoother. Today, I want to talk about a breath that I often use with clients, and I certainly use myself. Now, we all know, especially those of us who have done yoga or any other kind of breathing practices, that breath work can be incredibly relaxing and de-stressing. And it's a very busy world that we live in today, and we're all spread in so many different directions. And sometimes, if you really tune into yourself, you'll notice that you're actually kind of panting rather than breathing, because there's so much that has to get done. And that doesn't serve us really well, because the brain needs oxygen. So nice, deep breaths are a much better way to serve our bodies, our emotions, our minds, and to calm ourselves. So today I want to share with you a little breath that I developed that I call the head and heart breath. And you know, because we've talked about this several times on this show, and the LifeWave patches that we're going to be talking about work primarily with acupoints. In the field of energy psychology, a lot of what we do works with acupoints, because they are easy ways to access the energy of the body. So this breath that I'm going to show you, the head and heart breath, is also working with acupoints. So the first point that you hold, and you can just do it with your middle fingers, is on, we call it the side of the eye point. It actually has a real name in acupuncture that escapes me right now. But it's right here, not on your temple, it's on the bone here on the side of the eye. And then here in the upper chest, there's a point called conception 19 on the conception meridian. And all you do is hold those 2 points. And I like to cross my ankles, which helps to keep the energy in. Not crossing your legs, because that can constrict energy. But cross your ankles and maybe close your eyes, not if you're driving, of course, but close your eyes and just breathe. Nice, smooth, deep, easy breaths. And I'm telling you, in just a few breaths, you can feel a shift. You can just feel a calming coming over you. Now, here's an interesting thing that I have noticed. For some people, it's better to have the right hand on this side of the eye point and the left hand on conception 19. For other people, it's better to do the opposite, with the right hand, or the left hand on the side of the eye point and the right hand on conception 19. Now, I don't know technically why that's true, though in Chinese medicine they do say the left side of the body is the feminine side and the right side is the masculine. Don't know if that impacts that breath, but try it both ways and see what works best for you. Because one of the things we know, because in the field of energy psychology, especially with EFT and other methods that work with tapping meridian points, we know there's a lot of power to be had working with our meridian points. We know that it's a way to access and shift the energy of the body. So you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be an actual acupuncturist. It's very easy to get charts and see where those meridian points are. But experiment with yourself. Find find those places on you that can be calming. What I also like about Conception 19 is it brings us in touch with the body that's very close to the heart chakra. And as many of you know, I've written a book about the chakras. And that's another wonderful way to work with the energy of the body. And heart chakra, of course, is one of the most powerful chakras. And for those of you that don't know that term, chakras are energy centers. And they can be seen. They're usually near large nerve bundles. And they have energy and connection to different aspects of your being. Each one is different. The root chakra, which we think of usually as being at the base of the spine, has to do with survival kinds of things, food, shelter, clothing, connection to the earth, connection to family. So if those kinds of issues are going on for you, you might want to put your hands across your groin and just focus energy and calm and light in that area. The second chakra, the sacral chakra, is about relationships and pleasure. And if you're having any issues with relationships in your life, you might want to just put your hands on your abdomen and focus light and energy there. The tummy chakra, or solar plexus, is all about the self. And that's why we get butterflies there when we're nervous, when we're feeling self-conscious. So if there are issues going on with yourself, if you have to speak somewhere, or you're doing a presentation, or you don't feel like you look your best, or something else is going on in your life, maybe it would help to focus energy there. Heart chakra, of course, is about emotions and about all kinds of feelings, both joyful and painful. I also like to focus energy on the Thymus chakra, which is here in the upper chest, because that has to do with the physical body and the immune system. The throat has to do with communication and personal expression. So if there are any of those things going on and you feel like that needs a little extra energy, perhaps send energy there. The brow is all about intuition and intellect, and the crown is your connection to spirit, to source, to higher mind. So I personally don't get out of bed every day until I have put light in all my chakras, and I highly recommend that. It's kind of like putting gas in the tank before you drive the car. So let's take care of our energy bodies, because everything's energy. And if we don't take care of our energy, we usually pay the price somewhere along the line. And speaking of energy, in our next segment, we're going to be talking with someone who figured that out a long time ago and has created a technology that helps us easily work with our energy to create health, rejuvenation, better sleep, loss of pain, all kinds of amazing, wonderful things. So stay with us, because in our next segment, we're going to be talking to David Schmidt, founder, CEO, and inventor of the LifeWave technology. We'll be right back with David Schmidt.
We'll be right back with more Change It Up with Paula Shaw on AM 1170, The Answer.
Hi, Paula Shaw here. I'm so delighted to share with you that LifeWave has become our newest sponsor on Change It Up Radio. My family and I all use their tiny wearable patch technology, and the results are life-changing. My sister had lupus for over 20 years and has never slept well. Now she does. My mom's frozen shoulders simply went away. My favorite is the age-reversing X39, a patch engineered to activate stem cells. Yeah, it's true. They really work to improve how you look, feel, perform.
So I booked a session with Paula Shaw, and after hearing my predicament, she explained that when we get into negative, self-sabotaging thinking and we are being run over by our limiting beliefs, it's almost impossible to create positive outcomes. She helped me clear those destructive thoughts and beliefs using her cutting-edge energy psychology techniques. Not only did I feel a whole lot better after the session, but within 2 weeks, I had 7 loans in my pipeline. I was so glad that I went to see Paula Shaw, and you should too. It really changed my perspective on life, business, and now my business is going great. You can reach her at 626-864-0756. That's 626-864-0756. 626-864-0756. Or check her out at paulashaw.com. That's paulashaw.com.
Welcome back to Change It Up. Now here's your host, Paula Shaw.
Welcome back to Change It Up Radio, being brought to you by LifeWave, leaders in the field of activating your stem cells. And special day today, we have the creator of the LifeWave technology right here in studio with us. So I want to welcome David Schmidt, and let me tell you a little bit about him before we get our discussion going. He is, as I said, the inventor of the LifeWave technology and the CEO of LifeWave. David's experience in business and product development spans over 25 years. He's done some very interesting things that we'll have to ask him about. At one point in time, he was working with the Navy, the actual Navy, right, to develop the actual American Navy.
U.S. Navy, that's right.
I'll let him tell you about what he was doing, but it was very interesting and actually led to the creation of the energy enhancer patches. But David, you know what? I just want to tell you about this man because of my experience with him. This is a really great human being. Not only is he incredibly brilliant, I tease him that I do truly believe he's the smartest man on the planet. There's nothing I think I've ever brought up that he doesn't know something about. I think at night he just reads the encyclopedia for fun. But he's a great human being. He's a brilliant man, and he's created a technology that is drug-free and chemical-free and that creates specific changes and actions within the body to enhance sleep, to eliminate pain, to improve energy, and of course the latest creation activates stem cell production, and it's totally rejuvenating. It reverses the age of cells within the human body. So David.
Hey, Paula.
I guess
Good to
they
see
know
you.
enough now that they'll trust you a little bit.
Okay, sounds good.
Welcome.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
great.
glad you're here.
And it's great to be here as always. Thanks for having me again.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
And may I say, this is no small feat to get David Schmidt sitting in a chair next to you, because LifeWave, as some of you may or may not know, is an international country. A country. It is a country almost.
Maybe someday. We're working towards that, you know. So.
It's an international company today. We'll see what happens down the road. How many countries are you in?
Oh, it's over 100 now. And yeah, we're growing at a crazy fast rate. Our sales for the month of August were about triple. Just over triple from last August. So
oh my goodness!
Yeah, so we're really growing fast. So
yes,
it's exciting. It's exciting, and 7-day-a-week work schedule. So it's one of those kind of things.
I have a feeling. He sent me a text at 5:20 this morning, so that tells you what time
Right.
he gets up,
Right.
confirming his appearance today.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to do, obviously, running this company. Why is it growing so fast? What's so unique about LifeWave?
Well, I would say that maybe the first 14 years of our business was getting the foundation and doing clinical studies, introducing people to the products, and we've had it's been incredibly successful.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason for the rapid growth is absolutely X39. People have been getting extraordinary results with this product in activating stem cells. We've seen phenomenal things through our clinical research. So it's really been groundbreaking for us, and it's opened up many doors for what could happen in the future for different products and also different applications of this product.
Mm-hmm. So for any of our listeners who don't know what X39 does, let's share that with them.
Sure thing. So X39, maybe we start with the name. It's the 39th
Yes.
patch that I've invented. That was the laboratory designation with it, and the name just kind of caught.
Oh, it's
and
perfect. It
yeah.
sounds very sci-fi.
So we went to market with it as X39, but it is a light therapy or phototherapy-based product that stimulates the skin with low levels of light And what's unique about it is that it will trigger an increase in the production of a peptide in the body called GHK, or copper peptide. And what's unique about this peptide is that it will bind with copper, and it will modify or change gene expression and reset genes to a healthier, younger state. And this is where the magic begins, because one of the things that copper peptide will do is increase expression of what's called the p63 protein. And this is the standard marker for stem cell activity in the body. So when you increase production of p63, the stem cells are able to mobilize, they activate, and they're able to get to where they're needed. And that is one part of why people get results with X39.
So one of the things that I've experienced myself, and by the way, for our Facebook live stream viewers, the patches look just like this. They're very simple, very lightweight. There's nothing tricky. It's not any harder than putting a Band-Aid on to put it on.
That's right.
And then it does all these amazing things. But I know for myself, a couple of injuries have happened to me. Once I dropped a suitcase on my toe the night before I was leaving on a trip, a heavy suitcase. And I put an X39 right on my toe, although it is recommended that we wear it either about an inch below the belly button or on the C7 vertebra, right?
You can apply it anywhere.
But that's what I was just going to say.
Those
yes,
two places
right?
are where we put it in our studies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But I put it on my toe. And I'm telling you, the next day, there was no pain in my toe. It felt weird. It felt kind of buzzy, but
Right.
but it wasn't purple anymore.
Right.
And then one night, I tripped in my home, and I fell on a tile stair. And I mean, I fell hard, slammed my knee down. And, my daughter happened to be there. We put a little ice on. But, I was so tired. I went to bed, but I put an X39 on my knee. And I was 3/4 of the way to the bathroom in the morning when I realized I'm not hurting. And I was walking normally. This is just hours, David, like maybe 8 hours later.
Right.
So is what happens when we're actually have a severe or an acute injury like that, does it work even better? I mean, do more stem cells, get on their horses and charge to the injury site?
So this is an interesting subject. It's been something we've studied since 2005 in clinical research. We maybe now have 18 clinical studies just on pain relief. And so you could describe the phenomena of pain either in Western or Eastern terms, and it's really describing the same thing. We have a change in the flow of energy, or we have a change in tissue conductivity. And so when we've done studies, we've used different devices to measure the flow of bioelectrical energy through where there's pain. So let's say in one study, we used a device called an electroacuoscope. We were working with people that had knee pain. And what you can see is that the tissue conductivity is very high or very low. For anyone that's suffering with chronic pain, one thing that you would want to recommend is that they get adequate amounts of electrolytes. Very often people will be deficient in calcium, potassium, especially magnesium, and having lower levels of electrolytes means that you can't get a strong flow of bioelectrical energy through the body. So in studies, for example, with acupuncture, when they say, well, why didn't acupuncture work on this person? They find out it's a deficiency of electrolytes.
And how do you get electrolytes?
Yeah, you can get it through food, which is becoming more and more challenging. And then things like magnesium, I would definitely recommend for people to supplement. It's very inexpensive. Magnesium citrate is readily available. Magnesium taurate is another good one. And it's bound to the amino acid taurine, and we need taurine for our heart and our brain and other things. So, definitely recommend people take a magnesium supplement.
And this will help the X39 to work better? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is when people are suffering in pain, it can very often be that they have low levels of electrolytes because there is a resistance to the flow of energy through the tissue. And so what the patches are designed to do is get that energy moving. So in the field of phototherapy, one of the things that was discovered is that if you could use light to trigger an increase in the energy in the mitochondria.
Mm-hmm.
And the mitochondria is the area of the cell that makes energy. It's the part of the cell that will convert food over into energy. As people age, there's a tendency for the mitochondria to produce less and less energy.
Mm.
If you want to live a long, healthy life and stay as young as long as possible,
Mm-hmm.
you want to have your mitochondria producing as much energy as possible.
I see.
But for pain, the more energy we can produce out of the mitochondria, the less pain. So our first product for this was LifeWave, and we would put the LifeWave patches around, let's say, the knee pain, and now the conductivity through that area would improve and the pain goes down and completely drug-free.
Wow. So that's how this all works. I was
That's part
wondering.
of it.
That's part of it.
Right.
So let's say with LifeWave, because there's the negative and the positive one,
Right.
right? You have two patches.
Right.
And so is also what it does, so is that what it's doing, opening up the flow and increasing the energy in the mitochondria?
Yeah, actually, the mechanism of the energy patches and the LifeWave patches are relatively simple compared to the other patches, especially X39. The X39 is totally different. But on a very fundamental basis, energy patches and LifeWave are designed to increase the production of energy from fat in the mitochondria. It's called beta oxidation, but it's where we're converting fat to energy, and as we increase the energy output in the mitochondria, we can start to normalize the function of the tissue, and now pain goes down.
Oh, I love it. And when we come back from this break, we're going to find out more about that. First of all, it occurs to me some of you may not know what phototherapy is, so we'll start there, David, and then we'll find out more about that X39 he's talking about. We will be right back with David Schmidt.
We'll be right back with more Change It Up with Paula Shaw on AM 1170, The Answer.
Now, more than ever, it's important for women to understand why they need a financial strategy. Women tend to make less money than men, live longer, and face more financial challenges during retirement. Hi, I'm Sherry Blair. With evolving roles and increasing responsibilities, women are seeking out ways to become more knowledgeable about their finances. My life's work has been to empower women to make good financial decisions today to help ensure you have a bright future tomorrow. I'm here to help you learn more and to become more. Give me a call for your free no-obligation consultation or a second opinion at 619-997-0416. 619-997-0416. That's 619-997-0416.
Cherry Blair is registered with and securities are offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company. California license number 0B42369.
My business has lost its upward momentum. I'm working up to 14 hours a day, but my sales seem to have plateaued. I'm so overwhelmed.
I used to have that same problem, but ever since I found the Balanced Millionaire Consulting Firm, our sales and profits have risen sharply. Even our staff is more engaged, and the atmosphere is full of energy.
I have no time to work on my business to develop new sales and marketing strategies. I would love to expand, have strategic partnerships, and access to financing.
You can do all of that and more. The Balanced Millionaire Consulting Team advises you on streamlining your operations, establishing alliances, and most importantly, increasing your revenues and profits.
Let us help you build value and reduce stress in your business. Take charge. Don't let your business control your life. Visit thebalancedmillionaire.com or call 442-224-0160 for a free consultation. That's 442-224-0160 or thebalancedmillionaire.com.
Welcome back to Change It Up. Now here's your host, Paula Shaw.
All right. Welcome back to Change It Up Radio. We are being brought to you by LifeWave, leaders in the field of activating your stem cells. And lucky for us today, in the studio with me is the creator of those amazing phototherapy patches, David Schmidt. And we're talking about just that, phototherapy, because the thing that attracted me to these patches originally was the fact that they're drug-free and chemical-free. And so people ask me all the time, well, then how do they do anything? No drugs, no chemicals, but they do it through the magic of phototherapy. So let's ask David, what exactly is phototherapy?
You're going to have me repeat that whole thing now, Paula. Okay. All right. So phototherapy is the process by which we convert light over into some type of chemical change in the body. So it's also known as low-level light therapy, photobiomodulation, and it's an area of science we would call photochemistry. But it simply means that when you stimulate the body with light, there is going to be a chemical carrier for light in the body. In this case, in humans, it's called cytochrome C oxidase. And so this molecule will carry the wavelength of light, and it will cause a chemical change in the cell. And this is really important because it means we can change our chemistry with light. We don't have to use drugs. So this is really an exciting area of research.
Oh, huge. Absolutely huge.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people today are concerned about EMFs and all of that. We don't have a patch yet that can help with that, right? But is it a possibility that phototherapy could help? Am I
would
putting you on the
say
spot
we
here?
probably already have 4 patches
Oh,
already, and people are getting protection without knowing it.
well, what are they?
So, all right, I'll give
I'm
you a
going to
little
get
secret.
you guys
then.
the answers one way or the other.
So I'll do this under the auspices that I'm not making a claim.
Right.
This is a suspicion.
And there hasn't been a study yet.
There hasn't been a study yet because it's very difficult to do this study ethically. You know, we don't want to subject people to cell phone radiation, even though they are being today.
Yeah,
for
who
the
isn't?
Yeah, so for the purpose of measuring it. But in any case, when we look at how radiation is going to damage the cells, it's going to pull electrons from the cells. So if we can keep the cell charged like a battery and have it produce plenty of electrons, then the cell should not be damaged. So that would mean even the basic energy patches could give some protection against EMFs. It gets a little bit more interesting when we look at glutathione and carnosine. Glutathione especially because it's ubiquitous. It occurs throughout the body. And because most of us want to protect our brain, carnosine is a principal antioxidant in the brain that helps control inflammation. Now, both glutathione and carnosine are both well known at resisting the ability of radiation to damage the cells. As a matter of fact, when people go through chemotherapy, or I should say radiation treatment, doctors do not want them taking antioxidants, especially glutathione, because the glutathione protects the body from the radiation.
I see. Very interesting.
Now, there is one really interesting area of research that we need to do in the area of X39 because it's already been established by Dr. Lauren Picard that copper peptide will protect the body from radiation. And there has been very, very interesting studies done on that. So my belief at this point is that people have some degree of protection from 5G and other wavelengths, frequencies in microwave band that are used for communication with some of the patches we already have. But that needs to be substantiated.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's talk about some of the patches that we already have, because there was a story that I did badly at telling in the beginning about how you began this work originally with the Navy.
Right.
The real Navy.
Right. The real Navy in the United States. There's other real navies out there. We don't, so, but, of course, San Diego's a big Navy town, right?
Yes, it
so
is.
want to thank them for protecting our city and our country. So, back, I started a company called Advanced Applications Group with 4 other guys. They were really interesting people. One of my partners designed and built the ground support equipment for Star Wars missile defense.
Wow.
Another fellow was involved in the Star Wars defense program. with a project called Brilliant Pebbles, which is a space-based platform for destroying enemy missiles. So I got opportunity to work with some really brilliant people. And so as a result, what we were doing was designing survival equipment for submarines, as it later turned out. So I had a number of inventions. These were multi-fueled bladeless turbine systems, emergency oxygen supplies, emergency power generation, alternative forms of producing hydrogen, fuel cells, batteries, all things in power generation I was working on. And so I designed a piece of equipment that was considered technically impossible to work. And I got invited into a project where there was going to be a mini sub, and the mini sub was attaching to the nuclear sub. And the crew were Navy SEALs, and I was asked to see if I could design something to improve their survivability. And I was given just kind of like an open shot at this, and I wasn't assigned anything in particular because I had an independent company. And so I thought about it and was like, okay, these guys are going on missions that are 30 hours, 60 hours long, and I know that they're taking caffeine and amphetamines to stay awake. Maybe there's a better way that we could do this. And so I created, after a few years, the energy patches as a way. I was laughing because I was thinking back on the demonstrations and that we did back then. They were pretty primitive because we didn't have all the clinical studies that we have today. So explaining, this, how it worked, required a leap of faith because we hadn't put the studies in place then. But today, of course, we have more than 80 clinical studies that show the safety and the efficacy of the products. But that's where it all began, was a way to use light to elevate fat burning in the body, and we get twice as much energy from fat as we do from sugar. So this is a natural way of boosting up energy, and we don't get the crash like we would off of a caffeine or a stimulant. And of course, it's incredibly safe.
So I have a question. Back then, when nobody knew this concept of using light to make the body do something, where did you get the inspiration for that? Where did that come from?
Yeah, so, I'd have to say God. I mean, it all comes through prayer, right? We shouldn't really do anything in life without consulting a higher authority. So
Amen.
Anytime I want to do something, I'll pray over it. And if I'm supposed to work on it, the information is downloaded into my brain and off I go. Wow. But, light therapy actually has a history of thousands of years. There was even a center in Greece where light therapy was being practiced. One of my favorite books is called Let There Be Light, and this is about the 5,000-year history of light therapy in India. There was a Nobel Prize awarded to, I believe, a Danish scientist called Finsen back in the early 1900s on the use of light in treating disease.
And in doing that way back then, were they just using sunlight? What source of light were they using?
Well, if we went back to ancient Greece, they were using natural sunlight with different colored glass to filter the light.
Oh, yes. I've heard of this. Yeah.
In other cases, there have been medical doctors that have used sunlight to treat cancer. And what they'll do is they're simply interested in elevating vitamin D. So they put people out in the sun, and they see that very, very high doses of vitamin D will reverse some forms of cancer.
Wow. Now, does the sun make vitamin D when we have sunscreen on? I've always wondered that.
Yeah, we're blocking UV light. Yeah, so I'd have to say the answer is no, but I haven't seen any definitive studies that ask that question and answer it.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that recently, and I thought, well, I'm not going to put the sunscreen on because I'm going to give it a go for a little while, and I fell asleep.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
In fact, the other day, my children were horrified. We were all around a pool, and they saw I was peeling on my back.
Oh, God.
When was the last time you saw anybody peeling?
Yeah.
But that was my day in the sun.
Okay.
So I don't do that often, and I don't recommend it to our listeners.
Right.
But, I did wonder, though, when you're using sunscreen, will your body make D3? So we don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
But probably not.
It's possible because we get light that comes through the eyes that goes into the pineal gland and then out to the rest of the body. So I wouldn't necessarily write it off completely, but my guess would be that sunscreen is going to interfere with the process of making vitamin D.
Yes.
And by the way, for not only for women, obviously vitamin D is critically important in bone density, hormonal function, but any man that's interested in elevating testosterone, get out there and get some
sun.
Get some sun to elevate your vitamin D.
You'll look better and you'll feel better.
That's exactly right. That's right.
That's our prescription for the day.
Right. That's one of them, right.
So, David, when we come back from this next break, which suddenly came out of nowhere, let's talk about X39. And also, there's a big event this weekend where you will be speaking here in San Diego. And we went this Saturday, and where David will be speaking. And also there's going to be a patch training at that event, which is going to be really fun, with Roy Sergerno, who's been part of LifeWave for a very long time. So stay with us. We'll be right back to talk about that.
We'll be right back with more Change It Up with Paula Shaw on AM 1170, The Answer.
Jack Guttman survived World War II and then returned home to the hardest fight of his life with PTSD and alcoholism. Now at age 93, he's a businessman and comedian, sharing his message of recovery and hope in his new book, One Veteran's Journey to Heal the Wounds of War, helping our heroes and anyone who has experienced PTSD find happiness again. Get Jack Guttman's new book, One Veteran's Journey to Heal the Wounds of War, at Amazon.com. Or to order a signed copy, call 714-525-4954.
For those looking to improve their lives, there's nobody better to turn to than Paula Shaw. Paula helps people regain successful lives by identifying and eliminating self-sabotaging behavior using a multitude of mind-body techniques to identify and resolve their core issues. Working with a wide variety of healing modalities, she provides her clients with the most effective process for their specific needs. To book a session with Paula, call 858-480-9234. That's 858-480-9234.
Welcome back to Change It Up. Now here's your host, Paula Shaw.
Welcome back to Change It Up Radio, here with Paula Shaw. And in studio with me today, we are privileged to have David Schmidt, the founder, the creator, and the inventor of the LifeWave technology. So we've been talking about phototherapy, which is the basic process through which these patches work, and all the amazing things phototherapy can do. But we want to tell you a little bit about the new patch that's causing all the stir literally around the world, and that is the X39, which David mentioned before, and telling us that its sci-fi name came from the fact that it was the 39th patent or 39th patch that he had developed. So let's talk about the X39 a little more specifically. We know that it's activating stem cell production.
Right.
And it's been out now since January, correct? But some of us were using it before that, and lots of testimonials were coming in.
Right.
And so I know that LifeWave is very clear about saying it's not a medical device and not making medical claims. But some pretty miraculous things have happened with
right.
that patch,
It's hard not
right?
to talk about those.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
What part of it are you the most excited about?
Oh, brother. Probably there's things I can't talk about that I'm really excited about with it. But, in the realm of, Paula, I think the thing I'm most excited about is that when people are suffering in life, and I think it happens with all of us, right? Whether or not we're in pain or something else is going on, maybe we don't feel well, we don't know exactly what it is that these products are things that people can turn to get relief and take control over their health. Mm-hmm. It's a good opportunity to say that we all have responsibility to eat healthy, to exercise, drink water, get proper sleep, right? We have to have that foundation. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, what do we do when we are suffering with some kind of injury, right? So X39 is an incredibly powerful way that people can speed up the healing process and feel as if, okay, I'm going to be okay. I can get through this. And activating stem cells, getting them to work better regardless of age, getting the body to produce more energy. This, I think, is the thing I'm most excited about, is that we see it every day, how it's changing people's lives and giving them hope and creating an environment of healing.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some videos and some testimonials on the site and that people are sharing online about just incredible things happening. And not just with X39, but it's people like Lara Langdon, who's one of the people on my team. She's a physical therapist. So she's patching people every day. She has come up with some amazing protocols and some amazing results from, working with the different patches, because there's 10, aren't there, in altogether?
I lose track. It's 30, it's more than 39 for me.
Oh,
so.
that's right. You've been around a little longer.
Right.
But X39 is sort of like the premier one that's doing a lot of the things that even some of the other patches do.
Right.
But I want to share a little story with you. My sister is going through something right now. She's got these wounds on her legs that she's having trouble healing. And I saw her Sunday, and they've got her wrapped in these thick wraps and stuff. And she has to go to the doctor to have them redone, and it's kind of a nightmare. But she was in pain, and so I didn't know if this would work. But I put LifeWave patches on the wraps because I can't get to her skin.
Sure.
And then I put a glutathione on the top of her foot where I would normally put it on mine, and an X39 on as well. And I talked to her last night, and she said that it was actually helping.
Oh, that's
and I
great.
mean, she was in agony.
Yeah.
Like, it's terrible shooting pains. It's really awful. So I don't know. I mean, I know I've heard you say before that you can even have them on your clothes as long as they're in the energy field. They're working, right?
That's right. Because the part of the spectra of light that comes off all of the patches are in the infrared band, and infrared energy goes right through clothing. So while we believe the best effects are on the skin, because that's how we do the studies, people use them all the time and get great pain relief results when applying them on clothing.
I saw a video that somebody in my team sent me, a man whose arm was paralyzed, and putting Eon and I think a couple of energy and some other, anyway, in the right spots. This man was moving his arm like I'm moving mine.
Right.
Now, that's miraculous. That's incredible. But would you say that that happened because the light waves got moving and opened up and doing the thing they were supposed to do that maybe had been blocked?
So Dr. Steve Haltwanger, who's the medical director for our company, he's a medical doctor and a neurologist. He and I have had this conversation over a course of many years because we've seen things like this where all of a sudden people get up out of wheelchairs and they walk and, is there, healing that's going on there. What we've come to the conclusion on is that there are some conditions like neuropathy where the blood sugar levels get high and the nerves die, and you're not going to regenerate those very quickly, not in minutes. But then there's other cases where the energy production in the cell has slowed down, and now the nerves aren't dead, but they're just dormant. And once you apply Eon or LifeWave, the energy starts to move, energy levels go up, now the nerve can fire, and all of a sudden, now the person can move their arm. So that's what we believe happens. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, but I get it. And it kind of makes me feel like even when you think about Jesus healing people or any of the healers, it's probably that somehow their energy is helping the energy and the light waves of the body to flow the way they're supposed to, like what you're just describing. And then nerves come to life or whatever needs to happen.
I fully believe, based on experiments that we've done in our laboratory, that within our lifetime we'll see instantaneous healing. And we've done something along those lines already in our lab where we cut an animal, and within 10 to 15 minutes the cut heals.
Oh, my.
And but this is maybe a topic for another day.
Yes. might be more than we can do in 3 minutes.
It's not with the patches. This is a piece of equipment that's producing a very specific type of energy field. So that said, human beings under the right conditions could produce this type of energy field. So when we talk about healers at that type of level, like Jesus, who said that anybody can do this, right? Obviously, he was able to tune in and create this type of energy field and have these miracles occur.
And this really is the medicine of the future, isn't it? I mean, that's what's so exciting.
Sure.
Because, I mean, we've done a lot with lasers. We've seen other examples of how light can heal. But nothing is as simple and as easy as these patches that anybody can use and put on.
It's 10 seconds. You put it on the back of your neck or below your belly button, and then you can start your day. So it's very simple.
So one of the reasons I'm excited that LifeWave is sponsoring this show and that David's here today is because one of my goals since I started using these patches, because they've so helped my parents who are in their 90s, my sister who's had lupus for years and suffered on many different levels, is that these patches have worked for my family. They've worked for people that I know. And this Saturday here in San Diego, there's an unprecedented chance to actually see David speaking in person. He is going to be at the Seaside Center for Spiritual Living in Encinitas, and he will be speaking at 10 o'clock Saturday morning. And then after a lunch break, Roy Sergerno, who David knows very well, they have known each other for many years as Roy's been using these patches and actually saved his life with these patches. He tells a pretty amazing story of surviving sepsis.
That's right.
Through patches. So that's all going to be available this Saturday in Encinitas. So if you are interested in that, you can go to changeitupradio.eventbrite.com, changeitupradio.eventbrite.com, and get all the information to register. And as I mentioned in the beginning of this interview, this is a very busy guy. We're all so excited that we found a date when he was going to actually be in town. Even though the company headquarters is here, he only can drop by every once in a while because he's all over the world these days. But you want to come and you want to meet David Schmidt and hear him speak and explain this technology in as eloquent a way as he does. So I'm excited for Saturday, David, and I'm so delighted that you were here today and that, I mean, we could go on for hours more. We could probably make about 10 shows here, but unfortunately, our time is nearly up. So in just our last few minutes here, David, is there one last thing you want to say about the X39 or about phototherapy or anything we've covered today?
Well, I think we've
been a lot of places.
Yeah, it's hard to sum up, in a few seconds or so. But if people want to get more information on the X39, of course, they can go to our website. If they watch a 3 or 4 minute product video, they'll be able to get a nice overview and some imagery of how this all works. They can dig in and look at the studies if they want to do that. And of course, coming to a live event like the one that you've put together, you and your team have put together for this Saturday, is a great way to get more in depth and to hear from people that are using this and experiencing some really incredible things. So I think that'd be my parting message.
Perfect. And to see actual change happen to people as they get patched in the session in the afternoon. It's going to be an exciting day. So if you want to see that video and all that David was talking about, you can see that at lifewave.com or lifewave.x39.com, right?
That's another one, right? Either one is okay.
Okay. Thank you, David, for being here. It was my pleasure.
Thanks, Paula. Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for being with us today. We look forward to seeing you again next week on Change It Up Radio with Paula Shaw. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Change It Up with life transitions expert, speaker, and best-selling author Paula Shaw. Join the Change It Up movement with Paula Shaw as we explore topics that inspire, welcome change, and create a new kind of conversation. To learn more about Paula, how to be a guest on the show, and sponsorship opportunities, visit changeitupradio.com. Whether you're feeling happy, sad, mad, or glad, it never hurts to change it up.
Thank you, Facebook live stream viewers, for being with us. And David, any last words you'd like to say to our Facebook audience?
Yeah, I think I just want to thank everyone for being here today and tuning in and learning a little bit more about LifeWave and what it's all about, and hope that you'll come out and see me. I want to thank you, Paula, you and your team, for putting this all together for the event on Saturday. I think it's going to be great, and really looking forward to it.
Me too, me too.
Yeah.
And I hope those of you out there who have interest will join us, because you'll learn a lot about what these patches are, how they work, and what is the potential. And then you'll get to actually see them working on live demonstrations on people in the afternoon. So for that information, remember, you can go to changeitupradio.eventbrite.com. All right, hope we'll see you there. David, thank you so much.